This is Kate Baconsale. You're listening to Baconsale.
Look, guys, it's time for us to just admit it. Our success here on Baconsale is undeniably attributed to our roots. We're just a bunch of Nepo podcasters, all right? I mean, after all, I'm Paris Hilton's cousin.
Okay.
Kent, your brother, is Harry Dunn from Dumb and Dumber. And as we all know, Zack's great-grandfather was a Best Western. It's just time for us to admit it.
Why do we have two hotels amongst us?
and I'm from Dumb and Dumber.
There's not many famous Dunns out there.
Yeah, no, there's some football players named Dunn. I'm pretty sure.
Welcome to Baconsale. I'm Joel.
I'm Kent.
And I'm Zack.
We'd like to thank you for listening to our last show, our cracker tearing episode.
which worked pretty well.
It's so Baconsale for so many reasons. And there are some comments that point out a couple of them. But let's start with Steve Hansen, who said, the saddest thing about almost all of the crackers you tiered is that they're not chicken and a biscuit.
Yeah,
they aren't.
Yeah.
Chicken and a biscuit's so good.
Chicken and a biscuit.
We all really appreciated what Debbie Foster said when she said, the crackers always in our house include Ritz, Club, Parmesan goldfish.
Oh, yum.
Spicy. We also like to have saltines, graham crackers, and wheat thins. Okay, those are good. Now, this is like, take this as gospel. My very favorite are Groove's white sharp cheddar Cheez-Its. They are the best thing ever. There are some in the barbershop right now. We're all eating them. Cheez-It Groove's white cheddar.
Cheez-It Grooves.
If you haven't, do yourself a favor and get them. Okay. And then finally, she says, I love the show, but if there's one more teaser question about soup and it's not a soup show, I'm going to lose my mind.
Because if you don't follow us on social media, every Friday we do a Monday episode teaser question to just kind of, get the vibe, like give you a hint as to what's coming up and see your responses. And for some
you'll
reason,
get more clues if you look at Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Yes, I do try to add a little more on each one. But for some reason, these last couple episodes have been about soup.
One week we may have a soup show.
Debbie, why did you say that out loud? It's just going to egg him on.
He's so
stubborn.
thinking about how I can do it for this episode.
Yeah, truly.
I don't know what's going to happen, though.
If I could sum up really the Baconsale experience in our food episodes in 2 comments, it is one from Shane Hyatt that says, after listening, I had to go to the grocery store and get crackers. Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
you're
I
welcome.
feel like that was not a happy thanks. And then Ryan Farron, who said, it's funny how Baconsale can bring out strong feelings about seemingly innocuous subjects. And that's going on the billboard, folks.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're doing billboards again?
Let's do it.
All right. But that's not what we're talking about today. What are we talking about today? Great-grandson of Best Western?
He's the second best Western.
We're talking about Nepo babies.
Yeah.
Nepo babies.
Nepo babies.
If you guys don't know what a Nepo baby is, which it's a relatively new term, you may know what
That's dead, right?
Yes. That's
necro?
necro.
Oh, okay.
Nepo comes from nepotism, which nepotism is the practice among those with power or influence favoring relatives, friends, or associates, especially by giving them jobs. So, a nepotism baby is technically, in this case, a term referring to the children of celebrities who have succeeded in careers similar to those of their parents.
Right. The silver spoons, if you will.
Yeah, although it's not exactly...
They have a leg up in life.
In Hollywood. That's
Yes.
specifically what we're referring to here. It's just saying because their parents were in the industry, because their parents were successful, they then could help their kids get that same type of success in the same type of field.
So we're going to be a little salty on this show?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I hope it is a pejorative term. It's a negative term.
Right.
Basically saying that the person who got this leg up, it was unearned or undeserved.
Which is weird because some of the bigger celebrities, as we'll talk about, are Nepo babies that you would never know.
There are. The term nepotism baby was popularized in the early 2010s, and then it was shortened to Nepo baby in 2020. That's when they started using that. But then popularized in 2022 when a Twitter user tweeted about Maude Apatow, the daughter of Judd Apatow and Leslie Mann, and how she was starring in the TV show Euphoria.
Okay.
And they called her a Nepo baby. And so it became kind of the thing. In fact, New York Magazine published a list of Nepo babies and referred to 2022 as, quote, the year of the Nepo baby.
Why would 2022 be that year?
I think
because they've been around forever.
They have been, but it's kind of, now we've got a name.
It's like
for
we're
them.
calling them out now? Is that what it is?
Yeah, we're calling them out now. Nepo
Okay.
babies. There's also an industry baby, which is not necessarily their parents were famous or super wealthy, but it's their parents were in the industry.
Okay.
And so they know how to get like a leg in, or how to get a script to someone.
Like
how to get
if
an
someone
audition.
owns like a record label and then their daughter or son becomes a recording artist.
Yes, I think it's essentially it's like those on the stage versus stage crew. That's the difference between a Nepo baby and an industry baby.
Nice.
But either way, there's some sort of power there. So we have a series of categories we'll be going through today. We'll be exposing some of these Nepo babies for who they are.
But some are okay.
Well, that's the thing. We're actually kind of positive on a lot of these categories.
It's positive saltiness.
There's very few
Bacon
categories
cell.
that are negative, but there's a negative perception of Nepo babies out there, and we're going to talk about that as well.
Well, let's start our first category just to kind of set the stage. Let's start with the epitome of Nepo baby. We're going to say this is like our definition.
Is this the most salty here?
Okay. Maybe.
Probably.
We'll see. Well, I could get salty on a few others, but
Okay.
yeah, I think this is
Like
going to
we're
have
kind
a
of
more
putting
negative.
our noses up at these people,
Little negative
even though
connotation.
they're very wealthy and doing well.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Doing better than us.
yeah. Joel, what do you have for this one?
So my epitome of Nepo baby.
Epitome, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
I chose Jaden and Willow Smith.
Ah, me too.
Oh, that's a good one. I have two others if we want to. I'll just do two.
No, you save yours. 'cause
Honestly,
I know
when
you
we
have honorable
started
mentions.
discussing the idea of Nepo babies, these were the first two that came to my mind. They are the children of Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. Now, Will Smith, if you don't know, his films have grossed over, his total number of films have grossed over $9.3 billion globally. He's one of the most Hollywood's most bankable stars.
Yeah, so many hits.
So many. And Jada Pinkett Smith is the host of the Facebook Watch talk show Red Table Talk, which is a Facebook thing. Anyway. But
Yeah, no, let's break this down, right? So Jaden was born in 1998. Willow was born in 2000. And there are other Smith children, but these are the two that we know. These are the two that are famous. Why?
Well, because little Jaden appeared alongside his father in the 2006 film Pursuit of Happiness.
Wasn't he precious?
He was, and Will Smith was literally holding his hand through that movie.
Yeah.
And he also was in...
his best part in that was being a child.
Yeah,
But a cute child.
very cute.
A child.
And then he was also with his father in the 2013 film After Earth.
And he starred in The Karate Kid, which was produced by both of his parents.
Yes.
Right? So that's a Nepo kid, right? But then we also have Willow. So like I said, born in 2000. When she was 10 years old, she released the single Whip My Hair.
But before that...
I whip my hand back and forth.
Before that, she made her acting debut in 2007, I Am Legend. Guess who starred in that?
Weird.
Will Smith.
And also in Madagascar 2.
With
which
Jada Pinkett
she was
Smith?
the voice of young Gloria, and Jada played old Gloria.
Yes.
So this is just it's a family entertainment circle here.
Yes. Okay, here's the thing. Yes, they have a leg up in the industry, and the question comes from, do they have the talent to back it up? Whip My Hair was a successful
It
song.
was, and it's a catchy song.
I guess. I don't really know it.
I would say Jaden
I
seems...
just sang it. Didn't you know it from that?
Yeah, from that.
I only know it from people singing. I don't actually know the
And
song.
is there a song, or is it just, I whip my hair back and forth?
It's a terrible song.
Okay.
It was popular,
I don't know hip
but it's
music
terrible.
at all, but I know that Jaden is kind of one of these tabloid punks. He's one of these social media personalities who really, really likes themselves and probably puts out a lot of selfies.
But it can't be easy for these kids because they are raised in such a different environment. This is all they know.
Yeah, and that's what he commented on. He said his childhood was basically taken away because he's always kind of been famous or around famous people.
Yeah.
Which is sad, but I also still hate them. Is that okay?
No, don't
I
hate
hate them both.
Don't hate them.
I feel like the Jada smell is kind of like lingering.
The what?
The Jada stink.
Never mind.
Right? I, for some reason, don't like the Smith kids. I don't think anyone really likes the Smiths right now at
Wait,
all.
what does Mita's murder have anything to do with this?
Yeah, I don't like him either sometimes. But yeah, these are definitely Nepo babies for sure. Zach, do you have the same thing, or do you have like a close honorable mention?
I have. I'll give I couldn't decide between the two, but one of them's I think more ridiculous than the other. So my honorable mention here is Billie Lourd. If you don't know who Billie Lourd is, she is the daughter of Carrie Fisher, who is Princess Leia, who's the daughter of Debbie Reynolds and Eddie Fisher, who was
Both very famous in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
famous back in their day. I mean, Debbie Reynolds was in Singing in the Rain. Come on,
Classic.
she's great. So Billie Lourd is like a third generation Nepo baby or second generation Nepo baby, I guess, if you want to call Carrie Fisher. But like Carrie Fisher clearly
has talent,
made it on merit, or at least is known for merit.
Right.
Did she get that job because of her mother?
She may have gotten it, but she
proved
as
that
we
she has
now
what it takes.
look back. I think she's famous on merit. You may have been given your opportunity, but you had to prove it at some point, probably. And I think she proved it. But Billie Lourd, like, she's kind of
sang Royals.
Nothing.
Wrong.
Wrong, Lord.
She ended up in Star Wars. She ended up in.
She tried out for Rey.
She tried out for
She didn't
Rey.
get the role.
She
Billie
ended
Lourd.
up in Booksmart. Like she's just in things, And I feel like that's the epitome of of it, where it's like you're just here because you're somebody's daughter. You don't actually offer a whole lot.
Yeah.
But that's even more so with my actual pick, which is Apple Martin. This is the daughter of Gwyneth Paltrow and Chris.
But
Martin.
is Apple doing anything?
Other
Apple?
than having a bad name.
Apple is
How old is Apple?
19.
Oh, wow.
Apple's 19.
What do I think of her as 3
I
still?
got so many gray hairs.
Yeah.
Yes. There's a quote in an article on People that I was reading about Apple that just summed it up for me.
The company?
Yeah. Which says, according to fashion journalist Derek Blasberg, when Apple was just 4 years old, late Chanel designer Karl Lagerfeld said that she would be a Chanel girl. And it looks like his prediction has come true. So just at 4 years old, we just decide, oh, this child's going to be something. This child's going to grow up to be a model. You don't know that. Her parents are just loaded.
Her parents are the 2 whitest people on planet Earth.
So you haven't really seen her.
Forgetting about powder just like that?
Yeah.
You haven't seen her in. She doesn't do movies. She doesn't do film. She doesn't do anything. She's just becoming famous for being.
So does she currently model?
Yes.
'Cause I've
So
noticed a lot of these
she's a
Nepo
model.
babies, they model.
Yeah, she's a model, and I'm not to say that she doesn't look good, that she doesn't look interesting, but she doesn't look. I mean, there are a lot seemingly better looking models in the world. There are people who, again, I think models nowadays are not necessarily conventionally beautiful, right? They're just kind of interesting.
But let's say there's a New York fashion show. It's like if you have a name like Apple Martin,
exactly,
people are coming.
She is essentially getting more.
Or George Martin from Apple.
She is getting more attention for having done nothing.
Yeah.
But she will live in the lap of luxury forever because of who her parents are. To me, that is the epitome
Who's more insufferable, Gwyneth or Chris Martin?
Gwyneth.
I mean, that easy?
Did you know they split up in 2016? I didn't.
A conscious uncoupling.
I'm glad you said it that way. The conscious uncoupling.
Conscious uncoupling.
Like, that is so trite.
Yeah.
Like, how gross.
They're a little bit insufferable, but you don't see Chris as much. So
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So I'm not annoyed by him because he hasn't been putting
I haven't
out
seen him
albums.
since that backwards car crash. He'll play
Yeah.
music video.
Yeah, we know.
okay. Next up, let's do basically a clone. Let's see. I want to see who you think is kind of the same as their parent.
I have 3 choices, so I'm just hoping you guys pick
Okay.
someone different. Okay, so I'm going to throw one out there. Every single one of my choices has played their parent in a movie or TV show.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm going to go with the most recent one, and that is Wyatt Russell. Wyatt Russell is the son of Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn.
I love this pick. I didn't know where to put him.
Yeah.
This is great. Go on.
Because I saw this guy a couple
Explain
years ago.
who Wyatt Russell is for people who
So
don't know.
Wyatt Russell, he was born 1986, son of Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn.
Right. What's
and
he
it's
in?
funny. I saw him in a movie called Overlord, and that came out like 6 years
Yeah,
ago.
wow.
Yeah, that was the first thing I ever saw him in.
And actually, he was in he was in a Black Mirror episode, and I go, wow, this guy could play a young Kurt Russell, not even knowing what the actor's name
Right.
was. I was like, wow, he's really got the look
Yeah.
of Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here?
Then that remember the Black Mirror episode was one with the haunted house and the
Yeah, it's like the
head-
video game
yeah,
one
yeah, yeah.
and everything like that. He's also the half brother of Kate Hudson, who's also a Nepo baby. But he's gone on to star in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Goon, if you guys have seen that hockey movie, he's going to be in Thunderbolts coming up.
Yeah.
And then currently, which I think actually just barely ended, the Godzilla series on Apple TV Plus, which is Monarch Legacy of Monsters. He plays young Kurt Russell because Kurt Russell plays Kurt Russell in modern day.
Yeah, it's interesting. We're only kind of seeing him recently because
Yeah.
he was pursuing a hockey career.
Yes, he was.
So he kind of came to it. But yeah, it's the son of Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell, who were awesome.
Right.
And he's like, it's still kind of early.
Like, I don't know if he has talent yet,
But
to be quite
like,
honest.
things are promising. I thought he technically, I guess the character is U.S. agent. I think he's got real potential. The fun thing and why I considered him for this category is there was a clip that I saw recently just scrolling Twitter, and it's an interview.
Those two side by side.
Those two side by side, and they're kind of making fun of each other. They're talking about watching their own movies, and Kurt Russell's talking about watching The Thing, and son gives him a little bit of a hard time, and they laugh in the exact same way. They look up at the sky. They kind of grab their chest, but they look identical the way they're smiling and laughing. I'm like, this is hilarious.
My worry is that he's going to be put into campy horror movies, much like his dad hit success with the Carpenter movies. And he
Like Overlord, which I liked him in.
Right. He may have potential as an actor. I don't know if he'll ever step up into the shoes of Kurt Russell, though. Zach, what do you got?
Mine is a more recent one.
Okay.
I'll save my honorable mention just in case Joel doesn't mention it. Maybe we can just sum it up at the end.
I don't think you'll pick the same as me.
Okay. Well, mine is one where it's very similar to you, Kent, when you're watching something and you go, man, that guy looks a whole lot like the president from Independence Day. And wait a minute, in context, he's a pilot in Top Gun Maverick. Man, that guy really looks like Bill Pullman. That's crazy. And then you see the credits and you go, Lewis Pullman. Oh, it's Bill Pullman's son.
Bob, you guys remember Bob?
Bob from Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
I'm like, he looks exactly like Bill Pullman. It's his son. And so I was like, you are just a young version of your father. If they ever do...
While you were sleeping?
Prequel, while you were sleeping, prequel.
Before you were sleeping.
If they ever do another Independence Day and they somehow clone the president, this kid will be able to play any Bill Pullman role because he's got that kind of inherent charm that I think that Bill Pullman does. He hasn't done a lot. I mean, he was in a TV series called Outer Range. He was in Bad Times at the El Royale.
Oh, wow.
Not in a big part.
Okay.
And then again, he was Bob in the backseat pilot in Top Gun Maverick, who I think he did a really good job. And I hope they continue that series and bring him along. Like, he's a fun character.
Yeah.
More than any of the merit or what he does in the shows, it's just hilarious to look at him and go, wow, he looks so much like your dad. Basically a clone. Joel?
I'm doing a father and son thing as well because I chose Josh Brolin.
Good one.
If you guys have seen James Brolin, his father, and then Josh Brolin, I honestly sometimes get that confused. If it weren't for
it's
like
just J
different
names, right?
eras. Well, it's James and Josh Brolin, yeah.
Yeah.
But like his dad was known for being Marcus Welby, MD, which if you don't know that, it was a TV show in the 60s and 70s, went for a long time. And then also, if that doesn't do it for you, you remember he played Pee Wee Herman in Pee Wee's Big Adventure in the movie in Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
I totally forgot.
That's kind of a James Bond type character. So James Brolin is his father. A woman named Jane Cameron, yes, was his mother. But actually, his stepmother is Barbara Streisand. Josh Brolin's stepmother is Barbara Streisand. So you get James Brolin, Barbara Streisand. This Josh Brolin is a Nepo baby.
Oh, totally.
And if you don't know who Josh Brolin is, which once again we're trying to do a visual here, you can look him up. But he is he's
Thanos.
Well, I was going to go back to the beginning and say
please
he's
do.
Brand and the Goonies.
Don't bring up Goonies. Zach will get mad.
No, he's good in that.
And then he actually went through a pretty rough time. He got into drugs and had a pretty rough time there. But then he had a resurgence with No Country for Old Men. A wonderful performance in that. Then he was Thanos. He's been Cable in Deadpool. He was in True Grit, Sicario,
Jonah
Dune.
Hex. Yep.
So he had this kind of resurgence. But yeah, I think that Josh Brolin and James Brolin look exactly alike.
Okay, real quick.
That's a really
my
good
honorable
one.
mentions. Damon Wayans Jr., Spitting Image, okay? He's actually played his dad in A Blank Man. And then O'Shea Jackson, who is in Straight Outta Compton.
Yep, that was
He's
one of them.
Ice Cube Jr.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
It's
like
crazy.
that was
Genes
very
exist, you
good.
guys.
I know. But like exactly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, some of these actors are there fulfilling that Back to the Future thing where everyone looks exactly like their ancestor.
Yeah.
So true.
One that I wanted to put in here, just because I like him, is Jack Quaid. Are you familiar with Jack
Son of
Quaid?
Because of the
Dennis
boys.
or Randy?
Dennis and Meg Ryan.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is a weird one because I don't think he looks exactly like either. I think he looks like
He's a good
perfect
amalgamation.
combination of the two. If you had a Venn diagram, like he's got the smile somehow of both. He's got the eyes of Meg. It's just like if at one point social media was putting out like fake generated
Conan O'Brien's If They
combination.
Made It.
Yeah, this
Oh my gosh,
really
I forgot about
is
that.
That's so funny.
like a perfect combination. I feel like it somewhat fits in this category. He actually looks like both his parents somehow, and he's got. I don't know. I really like him as well. He's got charm. All right, I feel like that was a little too positive. Let's move to one that has there's some sting to it. You don't like the parent, but you like the baby.
We like the baby?
You don't
I mean,
like
I
the
feel like you
parent.
should just like babies, right?
You don't.
I know we
like
call
the
them the
parent.
baby, but they're not babies. These are Nepo
Unless
babies.
they are babies. Babies are cute.
Yeah.
Zach, I think you're going to start on this.
I am going to start on this one. My choice is my choice had me crying. How amazing it was.
Oh no.
I'm not a big Steven Tyler fan, guys.
Yeah, me neither.
I like Aerosmith music. I don't think Steven Tyler's kind of out there, kind of weird.
He's definitely weird.
He's been on TV shows, and I'm like, oh, I don't like your presence. But his daughter Liv is lovely. Not a huge star.
Okay.
Come
Okay.
on.
Let's just say it right now. It's because that thing you do. Zach loves that thing you do more than life
yeah.
itself.
I wasn't even going to mention it.
Ergo,
We
Liv
retired
Tyler,
that thing you do.
which was her breakout role after the music videos, that thing you do is like Liv Tyler's big role. She did great in it.
I was going to mention Armageddon. Okay.
Yeah, but that came a
was
little bit
the lead.
later, right?
That
was a couple years later.
A couple years later, sure. But I feel like that's where the world was introduced to her.
Yeah.
In Armageddon.
But us in the know, we saw her in that thing you do.
we did talk about
adorable.
Can I be...
We did talk about Animal Crackers last week, too.
Stop. You are not going to believe me. I forgot she was in that.
You forgot she was in that thing you do?
She's just Faye to me. She's not Liv Tyler.
Wow.
But then...
Curse you, Zach, for watching that movie with your eyes closed so tight.
You're ruining this beautiful moment, Joel.
I got a pig in the Livestock Pavilion, and I'm going to win that blue ribbon.
We retired it.
No, but she's in Incredible Hulk, and I think she does a good job as Betsy Ross.
I agree.
She's my preferred Betsy Ross. Sorry, Jennifer Connelly. Of course, she's in Lord of the Rings, and just this, she's wonderfully ethereal in that role.
Oh, great.
And I think I've always thought that she's an extremely interesting looking person. The way she acts is interesting. She's, again, not a huge megastar, but I like her way better than Stephen.
Well, here's the weird thing, too, is, I mean, when you think of Nepo babies, she was in those Aerosmith music videos, a couple of them crying.
Amazing, and
one more.
Always,
watch it be crazy.
maybe?
But
I
here's
think
the
it's
thing,
just crazy.
But it's weird that her dad was cool with her being in those music videos the way she was. Just saying.
Well,
let's
it
be
was
real.
crazy. She was in
Stephen
Crazy.
Yeah.
Joel, what do you got?
I'm not going to get salty here because I was trying to think about it, and then the one that I picked was more just because I don't know them as much, so therefore...
sure.
Okay.
But I chose George Clooney,
Okay.
who's a Nepo baby.
But you're saying this is a don't like the parent.
Right, and that's the thing is I don't like the parent because, and this is...
Do you not like White Christmas, Joe?
I had a hard time... Well, that's his aunt.
That's true. Fine.
Because his parents are Nick Clooney and Nina Bruce, but Rosemary Clooney is his very famous aunt. It does not, Zach, you're absolutely
like
right.
this is a cheat.
It doesn't have to be like a direct relation. Just because if your aunt's in the industry, you can get in the industry as well.
Let's make it regional real quick. When Fox 13 started their news program here in Utah, the anchor was Nick Clooney.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, his dad is George Clooney's dad is an American journalist, anchorman, and television host. I think he had the Nick Clooney Show. I think is what it's called.
Okay,
I can't remember what it was. But and then his aunt was the cabaret singer Rosemary Clooney. I hear her name. I know her name.
Yeah.
I have a hard time remembering any of her music or any of her performances. Not until Zach just said White Christmas, I went, "That's right. She's one of the sisters." I forgot.
She's like the sister.
She sings songs. She was big in the 1950s, Rosemary Clooney was, with songs such as Come Out of My House and Boccia Me and Mambo Italiano, Tenderly, Half as Much, Hey There, This Old House, and Sway. I maybe know a couple of those.
Yeah.
Maybe if I heard them, I was like, yeah. But I know I should know her name. I should know her
It's a different
songs.
era for sure.
It is, but at the same time, I try to expand
All
my
those songs
horizons
are
both
good
ways.
songs.
I think Mambo Italiano I know, like off the top of my head.
Hey, Mambo.
Mambo Italiano. But George Clooney, he's much more famous than them, and I know much more of his stuff. And so I kind of went, I don't know, Nick Clooney, whatever, Rosemary Clooney. I don't really care for him.
So you
But
don't want to
George-
be negative. You're just like, I don't really know him.
I try not to be negative.
Yeah. Oh, come on.
Joel, you're too nice.
Also, I just wanted to mention George Clooney's a Nepo baby, at least once.
Well, there's going to be a lot of
Put him in the
crossover.
image, Kent.
Don't worry.
Put him in the image.
It's going to happen.
okay.
Kent, I don't
be mean.
I don't like James Brolin at all. James Brolin is like the kind old dad. I know you just use James Brolin, but I never really watched his stuff. I only know him from really bad TV movies and The Master of Disguise.
Oh, he's
Joel.
bad in
Master of Disguise, Joel.
Yeah, he's bad in that.
I think he's always.
Wait, are
just
you
kind of-
choosing James Brolin?
I like Josh Brolin. I think Josh Brolin's a good actor.
Yeah.
Clone.
Ish.
There's a certain similarity.
I don't think
I agree
Josh
with you,
Brolin
Ken.
will ever be the kind old grandpa figure, and I think that is James Brolin's role.
Give it 5 years.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's hard to see because he's so gruff. Every role he's in, he's just gritty.
I can't believe you're bashing on James Brolin.
I don't like him.
You
He's
didn't-
just
you
like.
didn't watch Marcus Welby, MD, did you?
No, come on. That wasn't on Nick at Night when I was watching that. I just don't really like his acting. He's always just the same kind of performance, and it's like too slow. His delivery is just so boring to me.
How dare you.
Whereas Josh Brolin has always kind of been, even in his rut, he was always kind of an exciting actor. When
Did you see
was
Thrashin'?
No, I didn't see Thrashin'.
I saw Thrashin'.
What is Thrashin' about?
It's skateboarders.
Oh, it's probably awesome.
Oh, it's not. It's
Is it like the rad of skateboarding
it
movies?
tries to be, but it's
Okay.
not.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like, like we've talked a little bit about their movies, but like you said, there's Goonies, No Country, American Gangster, True Grit, Sicario. All these movies are so good. Josh Brolin, great. His
Kent's
dad,
bringing the salt.
I mean, I gotta. Sorry, James. And Barbara. Blech.
I saw that she was connected somehow, and I went, no way. Oh,
Right.
thank goodness, just a stepmom. But still,
Yeah.
like, I was like,
Just
that's
a
nothing.
stepmom.
Okay, let's flip the script here. Just flip it around the other way. Let's say you like the parent, but you're not a big fan of the baby. I think there's a lot of options here. What do you got?
Here
Joel?
comes the salt, folks.
Yeah.
Liza Minnelli.
Oh, I had Liza Minnelli too. I'll go with my other choice. Absolutely. I do not like her.
No, I do not either. She's the daughter of Judy Garland and Vincent Minnelli. Now, Vincent Minnelli, he is a director. He did movies such as Meet Me in St. Louis, American in Paris, Bandwagon, and Gigi.
Oh,
he directed all those.
oh.
And then Judy Garland, of course, from Wizard of Oz. But she was also in Meet Me for St. Louis and other movies like that. But then you get Liza Minnelli, whose breakout role was probably Cabaret in 1972. And Arthur in 1981.
It is kind of nice to see that her
and
role-
Lucille in Arrested Development.
Right?
I do like her as Lucille.
But to see like the old clips from the Judy Garland show and to see them singing together, it's special moments.
It is, and she is that Nepo baby where like her first roles
Very
were
talented.
on her mom and dad's movies.
Right.
But I've never gotten the appeal of Liza Minnelli. I've never been a Liza Minnelli fan. And even in Arrested Development, she has her moments of funniness, but I'm also just like,
But you're also like, is she acting?
that's
Like, you never
do
know.
wonder. You do wonder. But no, I do not like Liza Minnelli's. I'm not a fan of her talents, shall we say that? I've never met her personally. She's maybe a lovely person.
She seems eccentric at the very
yes.
least.
Yes. But I like Judy Garland. I think Judy Garland's adorable in Wizard of Oz.
Okay, I'm going to go with Maya Hawke. I love Maya Hawke's parents, and I hate Maya Hawke. Maya Hawke.
Now, Maya Hawke, you only know her from as Robin in Stranger Things.
So she's in Stranger Things and Asteroid City. That was the Wes Anderson movie that came out this last
yeah.
year. She's the new like indie kid, but she's literally 20 years too late. She belonged in the Garden State days when we're all like, oh, indie movies, they're so fun and cool.
Yeah.
And she's still trying to play that role, and I don't like it.
Well, and to bring up Zach's point from before the Venn diagram, I remember watching Stranger Things and being like, why do I recognize
Totally,
her?
right.
Every some expressions, you'd be like, why do I recognize? And then when I realized, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman together.
Right. And she just plays smug so well because I feel like she is just a smug kid. And being a Nepo baby probably is. But I love Ethan Hawke. And Uma Thurman is pretty great
Why don't you
herself.
marry them?
I mean, I probably would hang out with Ethan Hawke all the time. Like he's in Dead Poet Society, the Before trilogy, which I love, Training Day, Boyhood, The Northman, and Reality Bites. And Uma Thurman is the freaking bride.
Northman.
Right? The Northman.
Northman.
Like, those
Poison
are-
Ivy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll give that to her.
Yeah.
I'll give that to her. That is pretty dang fun.
She was one of the best parts of that movie.
But Maya Hawke, I think she does have a promising career, but for obvious reasons. Gross.
Wait, gross.
I think Maya Hawke is so boring as an actress. She
But not
is-
gross.
Yeah, no, I
Pull back the salt, Ken.
no, sorry.
Withhold the salt a little
just-
bit.
I'm
Your
just-
sodium levels are way too high.
Hold on. Just dropping
you
the salt right
salt-baying
here.
over
I'm
there?
Salt-baying. Zach, who do you got?
That's
Well,
gross.
My choice was Liza Minnelli.
Yeah.
So my new choice.
You're welcome to choose it if you want.
I'm gonna go.
Kent bashed on James Brolin for a half hour.
Hey, why don't we just bat?
People are still having to Google him right now to figure out why they hate him so much.
Everyone's grandpa. That's who he is.
Remember, this is you like the parent, you don't like the baby.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mine is actually you like the parents because I like both parents.
Okay.
But I really don't like Madam Web herself, Dakota Johnson, very much.
Oh.
Dakota Johnson, who was obviously in 50 Shades of Grey, one of Baconsale's favorites.
Obviously.
Wait.
Don't
No.
put that on us.
Don't put that evil on us. And
Wait, do you like Melanie Griffith?
I do like Melanie Griffith.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Who are her parents?
So her mother is Melanie Griffith, who was in Working Girl and,
Yeah.
and Milk Money. I'm mentioning movies that you should not watch.
No.
But I think she's somewhat
There was a
charming.
window where she was pretty great.
No, she was the it girl for a while there.
Yeah.
She was like the Meg Ryan of her time.
But who
At
I
the same
really
time as Meg Ryan.
Yes, that's I didn't realize when I was saying that.
who I really like is Detective James Crockett himself. Mr.
Totally.
Don
Johnson from Miami Vice.
Yeah.
Come on,
Totally.
You couldn't get more cool than that, right? The white suits and the pushed up sleeves. It's Don Johnson.
Was that in Django Unchained? Is that what you mean? Like, anyways, go
You
on.
realize
Yes.
if he listens to the episode,
He is
you realize
also-
if Don listens to this episode, he's not going to be endeared with you bashing on his daughter.
Well, he's awesome. He was in Django Unchained. I forgot about that.
Let's pull it back, though. I actually have a lot of respect for Dakota Johnson because I think she is the person that kind of took Ellen DeGeneres to task.
I respect her for that.
Yeah.
She's not good.
She's not
She was
good.
in Saturday Night Live recently.
Did you
she
see
was
the
terrible.
Did you see the Nepo baby skit?
Yes.
Oh, they had one?
It was pretty funny.
Okay, I'll watch it.
But she was not good in that episode. There was some humor around it. She to me is how you describe Aubrey Plaza, Kent.
Monotone
Like
beyond
she
belief.
is just so dull.
Succubus of charisma.
She's
the
the
one.
succubus of charisma. I think she sucks the air out of the rooms that she's in. Whenever you see an interview with her, I mean, I do appreciate her for kind of bringing Ellen down a little bit, but I feel like she would do that to anybody. And I don't like seeing her.
She
in
has a
things.
good movie, Peanut Butter Falcon.
I haven't.
Oh,
seen
But
that's
that.
her
really
role
good. That's a
is
good
not super big in that one.
like
I've not
that
seen
one.
that one. I mean, she's in The Social Network. I like that movie.
Yeah.
And she's not anything in it.
Right.
But,
Yeah, that's such a good
There's
call.
something about her I like, but I agree, Zach, that also
Yeah.
her energy is real low. Like I've seen her in interviews and stuff like that, and it's kind of that. Yeah, I'm here.
Melanie Griffith, I'm not a huge fan of her. She hasn't been in a ton of good movies, but she had a window there in the early 90s where she was.
ladies or the 90s.
Yeah, she's all right. But Don Johnson's awesome. Now let's keep positive. This is for you, Joel.
Keep it positive.
This next category is you like the parent and the baby equally.
It was too hot. It was too cold. This is just
the
right.
baby bear.
I can be positive.
Nepo baby bear.
Should I go?
Yes.
The Gleasons. Brendan and Domhnall Gleeson. I love
Explain
both
who
of
they
them
are.
equally. So Brendan, he was born in 1955, didn't start acting until 1990, and then rose to stardom with roles in Braveheart, Michael Collins, but really hit it big in the 2000s. Zach, you have something to say? Paddington 2, maybe? He's also in...
Mad-Eye Moody?
I didn't know.
What?
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Mad-Eye
That,
Moody.
that their son and father?
They're both great.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea. I didn't
Their
put
last
them
name
together.
is Gleason, and they look alike.
He's Mad-Eye Moody. And you
They're
just
all,
said that, right?
I figured everyone Irish has that last name. Maybe it's like Smith there.
Wait, so that they're gingers and have Gleason as their last name?
Yeah, they must all be Irish.
I'm dying. I mean, did you say In Bruges as well?
I didn't, yes.
In Bruges is that kind of movie that just makes you...
I really like this big song.
Right? It's Banshees of Inisherin.
Yeah.
Of Ed Sheeran, whatever it's
Now
called.
go on to Domhnall.
But Domhnall, he is this Nepo baby, but he's from Ireland, so does it count?
He's in.
Does it count? Because
He's in
we
About
wouldn't really
Time.
know him. About Time, which is amazing. He's in Ex Machina, Brooklyn, sadly Star Wars.
He's not.
He's in the Star. Whoa!
He's not good
He's
enough.
not in Star Wars. He's in the Star Wars sequel series.
Okay, I'm so sorry. The Star Wars sequel
He's
series.
on Rise of the Resistance.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure
he does a really good job at playing a really bad character.
But he got to start in like indie movies like Never Let Me Go and Frank, but then he's also in Harry Potter at the same time. And
Oh
that
yeah, he
was-
also is in Harry Potter.
right, and so that was the big break. That was the
Yeah, he's a
nepotism
Weasley.
Bill.
coming into play. I think it was Bill, and people are correcting us right now. But
Bill or Charlie, I don't
but
know.
Don't you guys just thinking about it love both of them equally?
I'm shocked, and I love this pick so much because both are awesome.
Both are awesome.
Yeah.
I think
Oh.
Domhnall has such a huge future
Yeah.
in Hollywood or Ireland.
He's a welcome addition to anything. He was in the movie where he played A. Milne. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
remember. Like Goodbye, Christopher Robin,
That's
I
the
believe
one.
it's called,
Yeah.
with Margot Robbie as well.
Yeah.
He's so good at it.
It's Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Yeah,
A great Black Mirror episode as
Yeah.
well, right?
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
It was a really good one. So both of them, lovely. And gingers and Irish. There you go. Related. Zach, what about you?
I'm shocked.
Right.
I have lots of choices here.
Okay. You're like waiting because you have so many honorable
I have
mentions.
so many. I know that Joel is probably not going to do Dan and Eugene Levy,
Oh, I think.
but I think they're both great.
I think Dan Levy did a great job on
Yeah.
Schmidt's Creek.
Yes.
but and I love Eugene Levy.
Yeah.
I think he's fantastic. So I don't want to say equal, but
But they don't really have the same kind of career trajectory at
It'll
all?
be interesting to see where Dan Levy goes from here because that was a great role. Can he break out of it?
Yeah.
True. I think Kate Hudson and Goldie Hawn are just both wonderful.
These aren't even your picks, though, right?
But I'm going to go with Colin and Tom. Colin Hanks
like Colin
and
Hanks?
Tom Hanks. I think
Name
Colin
one movie Colin Hanks is in,
And don't say
that
Orange
isn't
County.
Orange County. Yeah.
Here's the problem. I know Colin from alternative comedy sketches online. Like that's the main thing I've seen him in. But I'll tell you what, every time I see Colin Hanks in anything, for the record, House Bunny, he's such a welcome thing.
You just put a House Bunny on the record.
I put
you
so
did.
many bad movies on the record in this episode. But what makes me laugh about Colin Hanks is he's a Nepo baby, but also kind of like trying to work against it. It's like his dad is Tom Hanks. His mom is Rita Wilson. And yet he's like, well, I have no choice but to be kind of famous. But basically he's post Harry Potter Dan Radcliffe all the time. Like he's not
Like because he has Webster syndrome? Is that what you're talking about,
he's
or
just
what?
not trying to be that
Oh, I
famous.
see, yeah.
He's in mediocre movies or he's in he's in King Kong briefly. But when he pops up and
Did
stuff,
he play Kong?
I think so. When he pops up and stuff, it's fun. But I literally see him all the time in like internet sketches.
And you like Tom Hanks?
I like Tom Hanks.
Who doesn't like Tom Hanks?
I'll tell you what.
Well, that's understandable
done.
because you're too salty.
I'll tell you what. I don't love either.
You don't
but
like-
I like them both. They're both charming.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that I like when Tom Hanks was cast as Mr. Rogers. I wished it was Colin.
It would make more sense.
would
He's
have
more
done
lanky.
He would have done way better.
Yeah.
in
Think
my
so?
opinion. I do. I like them both.
All right, Joel, what do you have?
Well, Zach, you chose someone who was kind of famous. I'm choosing someone who's almost famous because I am choosing Kate Hudson.
Thank you.
Kate Hudson is the daughter of Goldie Hawn, and Kurt Russell is her stepfather. It's actually Bill Hudson, who is an actor, comedian, and musician, is her biological father. But Goldie Hawn, the reason I say like is this isn't love. This is a like.
But have
And-
you ever loved Goldie Hawn?
Yes.
There was a time, right?
Oh, Death Becomes
Yeah,
Her?
right.
Fabulous. No, that's the thing is they both have hits. They all have hits and misses. So with Goldie Hawn, you get things like Private Benjamin, Overboard, Bird on a Wire, Death Becomes Her, First Wives Club, Christmas Chronicles for a bit.
Yeah.
And then with Kurt Russell, you get The Computer That Wore Tennis Shoes, The Thing, Overboard, Tango and Cash, Backdrafts, Tombstone, Stargate, Executive Decision, Breakdown, Vanilla Sky, Miracle. Man, he had a lot of good stuff in their late 2000s.
Oh, yeah.
Their 90s and 2000s. And then you get Kate Hudson, who's in Almost Famous, which I didn't love as much as
But
other
it's a
people.
cult classic.
It is. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Your favorite?
One of the best romantic comedies ever, right, Kent? And then Skeleton Key, Glass Onion. And when I saw her in Glass Onion, I went, Kate, I like her.
Yeah.
And it's the same reaction when I watched a very dumb movie with Goldie Hawn in it very recently. And I was like, Goldie Hawn, I like her. I didn't like the movie, though.
Yeah.
We also mentioned she has half-siblings, including Wyatt Russell as well. And she is one of those that has been performing since she's 11. Kate Hudson is. I'm assuming her parents put her up to it. She says that her biological father really didn't have a lot to do with her life, so Kurt Russell is kind of like, that's her dad.
Right.
And so...
It's shocking that she's not more famous than she is currently.
But that's just it. I feel like she is famous, but not for her movies, oddly enough. It's like she's just famous for being
Like she's
famous.
dated rock stars. Like she dated Matt Bellamy from Muse and the guy from the Black Crowes. But I think, honestly, she was unlikable for a while.
You think so?
Yeah, and I think it was kind of maybe undeserved because I think she should be more famous. That's all.
I agree.
All right, next we have our genre jumper.
Genre jumper.
We didn't really talk about what this one is, but I assume we kind of know. Like the
Different
parent
industry.
started one place,
Yeah.
and the baby ended somewhere else.
I feel like we're all going to have the same one.
Does it
Oh.
involve? Is it music producer to actress?
Yes.
The answer is Rashida Jones to me.
Nope.
That's not what I picked.
Rashida Jones,
But
Go, Zach.
Is Rashida Jones famous? I'm not sure.
she
is
absolutely is.
Oh, she was in Parks and Rec, I guess.
Salty man.
Rashida Jones was in Parks and Rec. She's well known as Karen Filippelli in The Office as well. Come on, she's in I Love You, Man. What
She was
more
in
do you
the-
need?
Oh, I do
Yeah.
love I Love You, Man.
And the Muppets.
Yeah.
Okay, I like her.
But her dad is Quincy Jones. And if you don't know Quincy Jones, you've certainly heard his work.
He did the theme song for Austin Powers.
That was what I was going to say is most important, obviously.
No, but he produced Michael Jackson songs.
Soul Bossa Nova. Ba-ba-na-na-na. But yeah, he produced songs for Frank Sinatra. He produced Thriller and Bad and like multiple albums for Michael Jackson.
He's a powerhouse.
He is an absolute powerhouse. He has a career that spans 70 years with 28 Grammy Awards won out of 80 total nominations. And he was made a Grammy legend in 1992.
And he is.
He is an absolute legend. And, Rashida's not a legend, but she is well known. And she is replaying in homes all over America all the time as Ann Perkins in Parks and Rec.
Strikingly beautiful.
I agree. She got that, the ambiguity where you're like, why are you so interesting? But you are. Yes. Big fan. Kent. Get out of
She's
here.
fine.
Get out of here.
She's
with
good
that.
in TV shows.
Quincy Jones made really good albums.
Yeah, I know. He's cool.
Okay, Joel, what do you have?
No, I thought for sure when you said music industry jumping to
I
actress.
think you and I are going to have the same one.
Lily Collins?
Lily Collins.
There we
I
go.
figured
The,
you guys would.
Speaking of-
eyebrows.
Speaking of strikingly beautiful.
Yeah. Wait,
Yeah?
Phil Collins?
Yes.
Some in the air tonight? I mean, come on.
Yeah, with that male pattern balls. Beautiful. So Phil Collins. If I think, we've said the best.
Top 5 artists for you?
Yes.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Phil Collins is one of my favorite artists of all time.
Yeah.
Top 5? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. We'll do a top 7 show.
But and by the way, Phil Collins, if you don't know who Phil Collins is,
Tarzan.
He
He's not Tarzan.
He's Tarzan.
He did the music for
He
Tarzan.
was raised by apes.
But he had more U.S. top 40 singles than any other artist throughout the 80s. He had songs such as In the Air Tonight, Against All Odds, One More Night, Sussudio, Another Day in Paradise, I Wish It Would Rain. And then, so he is, and yes, he did have a handful of acting jobs. He is a
Yeah, but not
random
known for him,
inspector
right?
in Hook.
Yeah.
He's a police inspector in Hook, and that's basically.
And it's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's
right?
like, that's Phil Collins.
But then in 1989, he and Jill Tevelman had Lily Collins. Lily Collins, I mean, she is stunning, right?
Yes, beautiful.
And it's, I don't know if it's the eyebrows, but, just anyways. She has only sang in one movie, and that was in Mirror, Mirror when she played Snow White in 2012.
Yes.
And she did one song for the soundtrack, but that's it. That's been her only foray into music. Otherwise, she's been acting in Emily in Paris. She got her breakthrough role in The Blind Side back in the day.
But she's coming to her own now. Like, she's becoming
so too.
more of a legitimate actor, I think is what people call her.
Right.
But I do think that it's just funny to me that music is not her thing. And I wonder how her dad feels about that.
And I feel like that's enough of a removal, like because it's from music to acting.
Yes.
That no one's really going to call her out for it.
No, I'd give her more opportunities if she's related to Phil Collins. Phil Collins, all your kids can be famous. I'll allow it if you're listening.
Hey, guys.
Yes.
Surprise! Oh, wow. Well, speaking of surprises. Hey, this is the you would have never guessed they were a Nepo baby. Joel?
I know now.
Research.
I have known for a long time. No, I have known for a long time.
Mine is clearly the Gleasons.
Yeah, apparently. You just
that's
found
my
out that
real
now.
answer.
Gingers are all the same.
But when I found out that the 80s scream queen of Jamie Lee Curtis
yeah.
was related to Janet Leigh,
How did you find out?
I think it was doing research for Psycho. Because Janet Leigh is the main character in Psycho, one of the main characters in Psycho.
Or was it in H2O when Janet Leigh appears in that movie with
it was
the car?
before that.
Okay.
Because that was a fun little shout out for me.
Yeah.
But Janet Leigh was like the scream queen of the 60s. Like that was Psycho was her role. And so the fact that she had a daughter who followed in her footsteps 18 years later with Halloween, that was shocking to me. And Tony Curtis is Jamie Lee Curtis's parent, her father. That's where she gets the name Curtis from. If you don't know who Tony Curtis is,
Huge back in the day.
Some Like It Hot.
So good.
He is one of the main characters there in Some Like It Hot. One of the two guys there. And then he's also did Sweet Smell of Success, Operation Petticoat, Spartacus. And then Janet Leigh, mostly Psycho, but she was also in Touch of Evil and Bye Bye Birdie. Then you get Jamie Lee Curtis, who has come into her own.
Yeah, but there's Prom Night, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
You love that one?
I hated that one. Trading Places, True Lies,
But,
Freaky Friday,
she's an
Knives
Academy
Out,
Award winner at this point.
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yes.
Zach's favorite movie. He keeps
so
he keeps
good.
talking about how good it is. But I remember my mind was blown when I suddenly put two and two together that Jamie Lee Curtis was the daughter of Janet Leigh and Tony Curtis to some point.
My choice is going to be like, yeah, duh. But I knew this like 20 years ago, but I don't think I would have called it, especially back in the day when I watched Star Wars. It's Carrie Fisher. And I know we've talked about Debbie Reynolds and
Yes.
Carrie Fisher, but like, it's Princess Leia. And she looks nothing like Debbie Reynolds, who was in Singing in the Rain, right? I don't think you would ever made that tie together, but
She was also in Halloween Town, Kent.
she actually was
respect.
She was
I watched that a couple months ago.
Grandma Agatha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was she in the sequels too? I
Yes,
didn't
she
watch them.
was.
Yep. Two of
Halloween 2, Halloween Town 2, Return to Halloween
Wow.
Town.
And I should have known this.
What about
but
Calabar's Revenge? Is she in Calabar's Revenge?
I'm not
you know enough that you
And
know
then
that a
there's-
Calabar
Save it for our
Revenge
Halloween
exists.
Town
And then they
tearing
recast Marnie for Halloween High. Oh, rough.
It's Halloween Town High or Halloween
Halloween
High?
Town High. Sorry, I misspoke.
You're on a Halloween Town
You
High.
corrected me. So
Wow.
I'm always on a Halloween
Okay,
Town High.
take it easy. But I should have known, like, doing the research here is Carrie Fisher. She was on Broadway with her mom when she was 16 years old. So, I mean, definitely definition of a Nepo baby. Like, definitely brought up. But I will say, like, she's a talented actress, but also a great scriptwriter as well. She was a script doctor for Hook, Sister Act, and Wedding Singer.
Carrie Fisher is.
Carrie Fisher was.
Not Debbie Reynolds.
Not Debbie Reynolds. I would say that, like, you just wouldn't see it on its face. Obviously, if you knew the name Eddie Fisher, you would have made that tie. But with Debbie Reynolds, Carrie Fisher, just because I'm like, it's a different last name. I just didn't know.
It's a different last name.
Zach, what do you got?
Mine was a surprise, and I think it's one that comes up a lot where you're like, oh yeah, I knew that, but I always forget that because there's seemingly no connection, and I don't think they have a very good relationship. It's Angelina Jolie.
and John
the
Voight.
daughter of John Voight.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a weird one because I don't think that there's similarity in look, and
No.
there's a divergence of career, and again, I don't think that they have much of a relationship at all.
Right.
But if you don't know, John Voight is in what's it called?
Anaconda.
He's in Anaconda and National Treasure.
Mission
and,
Impossible, first
Mission
one.
Impossible, the first one. He's in Deliverance, Midnight Cowboy. But yeah, exactly. But most importantly, he's in National Treasure.
Yeah.
And he is a bit of a national treasure for that. But then Angelina Jolie is in Maleficent and Gone in 60 Seconds, and I don't think anything else.
Who do you like
Why?
more, John Voight or Angelina?
Angelina Jolie.
You do?
Yeah.
Why?
I think so. Because I was once a teenage boy. And
Yeah,
she
true.
was Lara Croft.
Why do I got to be
Tomb
at
Raider.
the table with you two?
I'm trying to be, that's.
You want to wear my blood in your vial?
Yeah.
So she did.
I know, but out of context, that just sounded weird, Ken.
The offer's still up.
I remember just when she was in Girl Interrupted going, oh, okay, maybe she can act a little bit.
And
That
she
was
could.
kind of cool.
Yeah,
and
she's very good in that movie.
Very
I
interesting.
still maintain that Angelina Jolie is more famous for her external activities than her
antics.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And for the Brad Pitt thing, of course.
I could buy that, but at the same time, I do think that she is. She's been in a lot of notable movies, much like her dad. But it's just, again, it's a weird, like John Voight. I
Yeah.
just wouldn't connect that. It's
If you
always
if
bizarre
you
to me.
rearrange the letters in John Voight, it spells Angelina Jolie.
She actually, in her first role, she was actually credited as Angelina Jolie Voight.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's all. Not, from then on, she was just Angelina Jolie. Now we've got only famous because of their parent. Like that they just have nothing to offer. Is that what we're doing here?
See, I just put it
No.
as gave them their first opportunity.
Okay,
And otherwise
well, that's-
they would not have had an opportunity.
Okay,
So that's the route I went here.
My pick is way meaner than that.
So we've already gone over this one, but it's Liv Tyler. She was born Liv Rundgren in 1977 to Steven Tyler and Bebe Buell. She was actually raised with a different father. So it was actually like her mom raised her and said, "This is your biological father." Up until Steven Tyler met her when she was 11.
And then she's like, "Mom, why is my mouth so wide?"
Yeah, basically.
Jeez. Can't spill some salt on that side of the table.
She's like, "Am I related to Julia Roberts and Steven Tyler?"
Stop it.
I don't know. But yeah, so she met Steven Tyler when she was 11, and obviously they made the tie and that he was her father, but she still is close with the man that actually raised her. She started modeling at age 14, didn't have any acting experience, and was cast in the music video for Crazy in 1993 with Alicia Silverstone, who is still alive to this day. And then,
As of this recording,
and then just took off. She was in Empire Records, Stealing Beauty. Stealing Beauty was the indie movie that kind of made her, and that was like 2 years after Crazy. So she was young, and then in a movie where there was like some rockers with a name, and then Armageddon.
doing that thing they do.
And Armageddon had an Aerosmith song attached to it.
Yeah.
Right? So it kind of does seem like it's like a full circle sort of
I
thing.
can't sing it.
I don't want to miss a thing.
Good job.
Okay,
Wow.
we're good.
Why was Eddie Vedder singing that?
All right, Zach, what do you got?
Mine is a person who I don't think is very good at their job.
Okay.
And yet keeps ending up in her father's projects, and that is Harley Quinn Smith.
Oh,
Daughter of Kevin Smith. She has appeared in like 10 of his movies at this point.
Would you recognize
She
her
keeps-
if she passed you on the street?
No. No, I wouldn't. And if you don't know who Harley Quinn Smith is, join the club. Kind of. I keep hearing about her, and I'm like, who are you? But again, she's ending up in a lot of these Kevin Smith projects
That nobody sees
that
anymore.
people aren't really watching his movies.
Right.
I guess she was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood as one of the Manson.
That had a lot of Nepo babies in it.
It had a ton.
Margaret Qualley,
Yes.
who is
that?
daughter of Andy McDowell.
Oh.
It had Maya Hawke.
Yeah. Austin Butler's not connected, is he? He was in it.
Maybe.
He's Gerard Butler's son.
But yeah,
They're both,
and maybe
they're
that
both
was
Butler, and they're both Irish, right?
and maybe that was the point of all that.
Yeah.
But I was like, without your dad being a director and producer, you wouldn't be in anything.
It's true.
Every time I've seen her, I'm like, yeah. And there's also just, why am I so annoyed? Her name's Harley Quinn.
yeah, it's Kevin Smith.
It's an homage to a comic lover.
but it's
Yeah.
Kevin Smith. He just can't quit.
It's a little. It's like eye rolling. It's like and Nick Cage is naming his son Kal-El. What are you doing, guys? What are you doing? All right, Joel.
Now I'm wondering with this one, I don't know. Are you guys going to go my way? Because I think this American woman should fly away. This is Zoe Kravitz. Mm-hmm. Now, Zoe Kravitz, if you don't know who she is the daughter of Lenny Kravitz, from musical fame, the song references I just made. And Lisa Bonet was in The Cosby Show. She was Denise Huxtable.
Two coolest parents?
And different worlds.
Is this a category for two coolest parents?
Well, Lenny Kravitz and Lisa Bonet they divorced.
Yeah.
And then Lisa Bonet actually ended up living with Jason Momoa for a while. So
Yeah.
her stepfather is Jason
It's a
Momoa.
cool family.
It's a cool family.
Why
Yeah.
is Zoe Kravitz kind of meh?
But Zoe Kravitz is only famous because of her parent. Because I'll tell you what, I looked through her movies, and the entire time, I went, she's in that? She's in that?
You forgot she was in the Batman, huh?
No, the Batman was the one I remembered.
'Cause he didn't
She's
like her
also in
character,
X-Men
huh?
First Class. She's in the Divergent series.
I totally forgot.
She's Letta Lestrange in the Fantastic Beasts film series.
What?
She's in Mad Max Fury Road. She's in
Yeah.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the Lego Batman movie, and the Batman.
But hey, Joel, in a GQ story, they said Zoe Kravitz is so synonymous with the word cool that the phrase Zoe Kravitz cool yields 22,900,000 Google results.
She was named by Time Magazine to be one of the 100 most influential people in 2022 because she's a fashion model and musician. She
does have a unique look, and I'll give her that.
She doesn't though. She's literally a blank piece of paper to me. Like I was like,
I
I
think she's
forgot
quite pretty.
Catwoman existed.
Right. I just don't think she's a great actress.
I just don't think. I think she's kind of just this hollow blank entity that every time she's around on a movie, I forget she's in it. Do you remember the silence in Doctor Who?
Listen, I would date the daughter of Lisa Bonet in a second.
You know, wear her blood in your vial.
I would date Lisa Bonet in a second.
I honestly, Zoe Kravitz. Obviously, Kravitz.
Yeah.
That name has gotten her way far.
Yeah.
And I believe it's the same type of thing Zach was talking about with Apple, where it's like, oh, yes, you are automatically you're an actress and everything. You're
You
a
are
fashion
going to be
model.
elevated.
You're a musician.
Yep.
Whatever you want to be, you can be it, honey.
But she's cool, Joel,
She's cool with
Why?
a K.
because she's
But
cool.
why?
I don't know. He found it on the internet.
The K is for cool.
Her godmother, by the way, Marissa Tomei.
Really?
Another connection.
What? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
From my cousin Vinny and nothing else?
I love my cousin Benny.
It's so good.
So
It
much.
really is so
She's
good.
so good in it. Okay, we got a little negative. I'm sorry. Let's go positive again.
We got more time to do that.
No. We'll stay positive here. Who is more talented than their parents?
You are, Zach, because you're going first.
I am. You know, I like Airplane. It's a good movie.
It's a great movie.
You know, Lloyd Bridges is great. He is great. But Jeff Bridges, though.
Oh, not Bo?
Bo Bridges is.
I like Bo.
He has his merits. But I'm going to go with Jeff Bridges for my more talented than their parents. So Lloyd Bridges, I know from being in kind of a goofball, like a straight man in comedies. He's in Hot Shots.
Yes, I love him in Hot Shots.
He's in Airplane. I mean, that's
Ton of 70s movies.
yeah, a bunch of 70s movies that I've never seen, and then I see him in these couple of, you know, these funny movies. So I'm sure he has more to offer than that, but kind of like Leslie Nielsen, that's where he ended up, right? But then Jeff Bridges has done comedy. He's done bizarre comedy a la Big Lebowski, but he's kind of become this like go-to gruff, serious actor guy.
Yeah.
But does he play the same role for the past 15 years?
Is there a problem with that role?
Yeah.
In the last 15 years?
you got stuck with something.
That's the one.
Come on. I like me some Rooster Cogburn. He's great in Crazy Heart. They're the same.
Yeah.
But he's
love the music.
RIPD.
Wow. Wow.
I know I had to.
You didn't.
Hill or High Water.
That's
Oh,
a-
that's the
that's
same.
a really good
That's the
one.
same.
Yeah.
That's the
So
same.
that's so good though.
But he was CGI'd in Tron. I'm not making a case for myself.
You're making a
here.
good case. No, you're right. Jeff Bridges is very talented.
But he gives us one of the greatest quotes of Baconsale history, which is Tony Stark built this in a cave with scraps. And I just love that so much. Thank you, Jeff Bridges, for bringing me that moment with Joel. All right, Joel, who do you have?
Speaking of moments with Joel, I'd like to take this moment to remind both of you idiots to watch My
Wow.
Date with Drew, because I'm choosing Drew Barrymore.
Wow.
So Drew Barrymore, if you don't know, her parents were John Drew Barrymore and Jade Barrymore. But her whole family is acting. Her whole family is a bunch of actors. Her paternal great-grandparents, Maurice and Georgie Drew Barrymore, Maurice and May Costello, and her parental grandparents, John Barrymore and Dolores Costello, were actors. Her great-uncle is Mr. Potter from It's a Wonderful Life.
What?
That is Lionel Barrymore, and that is her great-uncle.
Jeez.
Like there's, but her going back to her dad, like I went directly to her dad, John Drew Barrymore. He was in a couple films. They weren't that successful. He actually had kind of a sad life, kind of fell, estranged from the family and everything. But then you get Drew Barrymore. And from her role as a little girl in E.T. the Extraterrestrial up to the Drew Barrymore Show, she has been in a number of successful movies, which is great. But also, people just like her. Like she went through a really rough patch there for a while. She came back and everyone's like, good on you.
Yeah.
And that made her so much more likable. She began acting when she was 11 months old, when she appeared in a dog food commercial. So good for her. She has been in so many different things that I enjoy. If you don't know who Drew Barrymore is, you got Charlie's Angels, Batman Forever, Scream, Ever After, The Wedding Singer, 50 First Dates, Riding Cars with Boys, Charlie's Angels Full Throttle, Fever Pitch, Music and Lyrics. Like,
Or if you're sick during the day, she has a daytime talk show now.
she does.
So
She does. I think that she is very talented, and I reading up on her dad actually made me kind of sad. But I just think of this history she's had
Right.
in her family of actors, and she is the one that stands out, and I think will stand out for a long time.
I think so too.
Her and Mr. Potter.
Yeah. Mr. Potter. Oh. Zach,
Sure.
who was Jeff Bridges talking to when he talked about scraps?
He was talking to Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. is more talented.
Actually,
was
no.
not.
He was talking to Ralphie
talking
from
about
Christmas Story.
Talking about.
He's talking
he
about Robert
was.
Downey
He's
Jr.
talking about Peter
It was
Pan.
probably a Nepo baby.
But I
as
know
well.
where you're going with this.
So he's talking about, he's talking about Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. And that's obvious, right? There's got to be a senior to a junior.
You think so?
Yes. Robert Downey Jr. was born in 1965 to Robert Downey Sr., who was an actor and filmmaker with his mother, Elsie Ann, who was in some of Downey's movies at the time. So Downey Sr. was a screenwriter. He made a lot of indie movies and anti-establishment films in the 1960s, like really absurdist type stuff.
Tell us some of the titles, Kim.
I'd rather not. But
What about Putney Swope, his biggest
so you
film?
got some. Okay, good. The Criterion has picked up a few of them.
Yeah,
because
Putney Swope, Babbo 73, Chafed Elbows, No More Excuses, Toast Tonight.
So movies,
you know those classics that we all know.
Movies that we know, but obviously
we don't know them.
I know, right? He made an impact on his son. And then we have Robert Downey Jr., who is, it's weird. Actually, the theme of this is a lot of these Nepo babies have troubled pasts, right? And maybe no more than Robert Downey Jr., who's had his fair share. But then he's had a rise as well. So he's been in Chaplin, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Zodiac, Iron Man, obviously, Sherlock Holmes, and now Oppenheimer.
Was he in Iron Man?
But yeah, weird, right? That was Ralphie, actually, from A Christmas Story. But yeah, it's such a great career, even in like cute movies like Only You.
Yeah, I love
Stuff
that
like
one.
that. And so Robert Downey Jr., I feel like, has like real acting talent, and he's also quite marketable, and that's very important now. But his dad was definitely in his like vein talented, but he just kind of stayed in that channel.
Yeah.
So yeah, Robert Downey Jr.
Now we have the Nepo Family Award. I'm excited to see what direction you went with this one.
And we used the Smiths already.
Yeah.
So
Well, I don't think you can be that excited because I'm going down the same road you went a little bit ago because I'm choosing Lloyd, I'm choosing Bo, I'm choosing Jeff, I'm choosing the Bridges family.
That's a good one.
Because and it's kind of sad that you chose one because there's so many others out there I could have chosen. I didn't have a backup on this one. I'm sorry. But you get Lloyd Bridges, who you already talked about. Like was in Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. Zach loves that movie.
I did.
Is?
No, but it's funny because like Lloyd didn't come from an acting background. His dad, I think, was in a hotel business, and so he decided to join kind of theater and become like on extra on films and in small roles. And then, but he ended up doing the Lloyd Bridges show in 1962 and 63 and included appearances from his son. He also did a show called Sea Hunt with Jeff Bridges, Bo Bridges, and Lloyd Bridges were all in that together.
Huh.
And it's this fun little show from 1958 to 1960. But Bo, by the way, his name isn't Bo. His name is Lloyd Burnett Bridges III. They call him Bo because of a character on Gone with the Wind. And the two brothers starred together in the Fabulous Baker Boys. I know I know Bo Bridges mostly from The Wizard.
Yeah.
And also from My Name is Earl. He's the dad figure in both those. We already talked about Jeff at length. Probably the biggest talent out of the three. But I just look at the Bridges family and I'm like, you know what? All three of these guys are respected in the industry and also liked, it seems, to varying degrees, obviously. Yeah. Also, I got to give a shout out to the Seinfeld episode with the Mandelbaums. Mandelbaum. That is one of my favorites, and it has Lloyd Bridges in it as well. So
Love it.
Yeah.
All right, my family, my Nepo family, and I wish I was in this family because I'd be really handsome guys. If I wasn't a model, I'd be a really scary-looking actor because I'm going all the way to Sweden with the Skarsgård.
Yeah. Skarsgård. How did I know? How did I know you were going to pick the Skarsgård?
No,
for this
listen, there's something special about the Skarsgårds. I want to do a full episode on the Skarsgårds.
So for a Skarsgård episode,
they have 7 children. Maybe 7 boys, but I know it's 7 children. And this is the father is Stellan Skarsgård. Stellan Skarsgård, you would know him from Pirates of the Caribbean, from Mamma Mia.
Thank you.
From Dune. Sorry.
Mostly Mamma
First,
Mia.
Should I just say
Who was
Mamma
he in
Mia?
Pirates of the Caribbean?
He was.
In the sequel.
second one,
Yeah, the second one with
He's
really
in,
great CG.
He's in Avengers.
Yeah, and he's in Thor and stuff. Like that. It's fine.
Ken, don't downplay your pick. That'll help people understand who he is.
But also Dune. He was the creepy.
Oh, okay. Now we saved
the
it.
creepy tar bathtub floating guy in Dune.
That was literally the
Baron
title of his
Harkonnen.
character.
Exactly. So, but then Stellan Skarsgård, who is not a pretty man, has beautiful children, and they're all terrifying. So first we have Alexander.
Thank you, mothers.
Yeah, right. Alexander Skarsgård, who is the oldest boy.
What do we know Alexander Skarsgård from?
So he was first. He's smaller roles, but then he was in True Blood.
True
He
Blood.
was one of the leads in True Blood.
Yeah.
He actually got his first role in Zoolander. He didn't want to act. He wanted to be in military. But then his dad's like, "Oh, try out for Zoolander," and he got a small part.
He's so handsome in True Blood.
He was in Northman. The
Oh,
Northman.
yeah.
He's in Succession.
He is the Northman.
He is the Northman. And he is just has this really intense look, and he's super cool. And then you skip a few kids because, by the way, they're all either models or actors. And then you get some weirdo named Bill Skarsgård.
There's this weird thing with his eyes.
And his lip.
Just so scary. And he got his start in Hemlock Grove on Netflix. And then he started in It, Chapter 1 and 2, John Wick 4.
As Pennywise,
And
we should point
Barbarian.
out.
Yeah. As freaking
He's Pennywise.
And not only that, think about how hard it is to step into Tim Curry's big clown shoes, right? And actually stand toe to toe with him.
No, he made Pennywise scary for a new generation.
Yeah, and he does super well. By the way, there's one daughter in the family, and her name is Aya, and she's gorgeous. Just letting you know.
Aya Skarsgård?
Aya Skarsgård.
You a Skarsgård?
Yeah, I'd like to be a Skarsgård, but no, there are so many kids, and maybe we'll all hear from the rest of them. Zach, who do you have?
I just want to shout out the Coppolas.
Yeah.
Just because, not to say that I really like their work, but they just seem to be a very powerful family.
I almost
They are.
chose Sofia Coppola as the
Yeah.
epitome of a Nepo baby
Right.
because that was the whole big controversy. She was chosen to be like one of the starring roles in Godfather 3.
Yeah.
And she was not good.
Yeah.
And people were like, she's in there because her dad is directing.
Are they like the least attractive Nepo family?
Yes.
Jeez.
Yes.
They are weird looking.
You just chose Pennywise's family.
I know. Bill Skarsgård, there's something about him.
Handsome. But also, just shout out to throwing out there that the man's name is Nicholas Coppola. Nicholas Cage.
Right.
Yeah, he's in that
Nick
group.
Cage ditched the Coppola because he kind of didn't want
Yeah, it makes
To
to
sense.
be
Thing.
associated with the Coppola name,
own
which
threat.
I actually respect. It's kind of anti-Nepo baby. Obviously, he got his opportunities, but the Coppola family, very powerful in Hollywood. And Sophia did make up for it a little bit with a few movies. Lost in Translations.
Yeah, she's made one good
Not
one.
bad.
Yeah.
Dang
One
it.
good movie.
Just one.
Right.
Also, we haven't mentioned them, but shout out to the Sutherlands, Kiefer and Donald.
Yeah, I kept wanting to put them in
I
one of
just
these.
want to
I
talk
didn't know where
about
they
them because
fit.
they're good.
They almost got the same.
Were they like the father and son that scare us?
Yeah.
Because, yeah, that would be them.
No, I think about families. It's we didn't talk about the relationship to like siblings. For example, Elizabeth Olsen, is that her name? She's Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
I believe that her parents aren't
Related to Mary
necessarily
Kate and
famous,
Ashley.
but Mary Kate and Ashley, her sisters, I think that really helped her. Right?
And it's weird how they had their time in the sun and now it's her time. Like,
yeah,
she's doing
so
her own thing.
I feel like there's some still nepotism there, but not the
Right.
not the baby.
the Baldwins.
the Baldwin brothers.
Thing too, but
yeah,
although
there's one good one,
you
and
can't,
then
well, if you can call them good.
And Stephen Baldwin's daughter is married to Justin Bieber. It's Haley Bieber.
yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Both family combining.
But I wanted to pick one where there's multiple members, and I really kind of like them all. So I went with the patriarch is a man named Ramon Antonio Dorado Estevez.
Yes.
You would know
Oh,
him
yeah.
as
Thank
Martin
you.
Sheen,
Great pick.
I was trying to pick them for one of these.
the president himself from West Wing. He's great. But then his son, Emilio Estevez, who is Gordon Bombay from Mighty Ducks, Nothing Else Matters.
Young
He's in
Guns.
Mission Impossible too.
He's in Young Guns. That's great. He's in the first Mission Possible.
a
And
little
then
bit.
Half
Charlie
his face is.
And then Charlie Sheen, who Hot and Cold,
Charles Estevez. Excuse me.
Carlos.
oh, is it
Carlos
Okay, that
Estevez.
makes
They
sense.
changed it to Charlie Sheen.
You changed it to Charlie Sheen, yeah. But Emilio specifically, he wanted to respect the family name, so he specifically wanted to be Estevez. I think there is some regret that Martin Sheen has expressed with going with Sheen. He kind of feels like he might have dishonored the family name, or Emilio kind of wanted to go against that.
Okay.
And then I think Charlie was like, "No, I want my dad's name.
Right.
Like, you're going to know who I am," because that feels like a very Charlie Sheen move, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But if you don't know, Charlie Sheen is he's in
Hot Shots.
Three
Again?
Musketeers and nothing else. No,
Hot Shots.
He's in Hot
Yeah, he's
Shots,
in
and
Ferris
he's
Bueller.
great. He is. I mean, he was in
Men.
what's that show called?
Men.
No.
Two Men and a Baby.
Nope,
What's
stop
that? Two
it.
and a Half Men.
Oh.
But yeah, of course, I think he's fantastic in Hot Shots. I think all of these guys are charming, interesting, and again, they've had moments of being pretty big stars.
They had their downtimes too.
Emilio, maybe not as much, but Young Guns was great. You guys remember Stakeout?
Yeah.
And another
With Richard
Stakeout
Dreyfuss?
with Richard
Yeah.
Dreyfuss. What a weird thing, but I thought he was good in that. And then, of course, I feel like Dad still has the best career.
I mean,
of the group.
Apocalypse Now.
Apocalypse Now, of course. I mean, he was in The Departed. And then, of course, he's Uncle Ben from your favorite Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, there you go.
But I just think that they represent an interesting family, and I think they're also known. Like it's
Those
all
three names
known
you know.
that they're all connected. You know that they're a family. Like even though they don't have the same names, I think everybody's like, oh yeah, Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez are brothers.
Yeah.
Men at Work.
Oh, that movie. Wow.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about who has surpassed their parent. We talk about maybe they were more talented, but I want to hear who you think has a career that surpassed their parent.
Mine's been used already. It's George Clooney.
Yep.
So, and I when I say surpassed,
I knew when you brought up the Rosemary Clooney facts earlier that you were delving into that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. There's so much crossover on this episode, so I won't spend too much time here. But his father was an anchor. Obviously, there was some probably sway to get into TV, but I think maybe the benefit George got was probably from Rosemary Clooney, or maybe a little bit more of the urging. But even then, George Clooney, like he graduated high school, he was going to college, he was selling women's shoes, door-to-door insurance, and construction. The guy wasn't really an actor. He did in his late 20s, he started working on a show called E/R, not ER, but it's a different ER.
What?
Yeah, and then The Facts of Life and Roseanne. And then when he was 33 years old, that's when he became a star, and with actual ER on NBC. Then he was George Clooney.
Yeah.
And so
A household name.
Yeah, total household name. And so I say even more than Rosemary Clooney, because we just don't really know who that is at this point. And definitely Nick Clooney.
We probably did if we heard
He
his
did
songs.
surpass their fame. Zach, what do you got?
I had a bit of a hot take brewing, and then I couldn't in good conscience do it. My honorable mention, I wonder if Bryce Dallas Howard has surpassed Ron Howard
No.
as an actor, because
As an actor, yeah.
he jumped away to
Directing.
direct
Yeah.
a lot of mid blockbusters, but
Mid blockbusters.
Apollo 13?
Is that what I said? Oh, that's a great movie.
Willow?
Far and Away.
How old are these movies?
Okay.
And he's still making them. How about that?
Listen, but Bryce Dallas Howard is what? Directing Mandalorian?
Mandalorian episodes, bruh.
Okay.
Yeah,
She's an
That's why
Argyle.
I couldn't in good conscience go with that choice.
I like them both about the same.
Yeah, but I did pick a father and son combination where I like both, but I do think that the son has surpassed. It's Kirk and Michael Douglas. I think.
Oh, I almost went with this one.
Yeah.
But Kirk is like the
I
legacy
like Kirk
is
so
huge.
much, but I think that Michael. Michael Douglas is near the end of his career.
Explain who it are. People know Kirk Douglas is in.
Kirk Douglas, he was in a bunch of movies being very handsome. He is Spartacus. I think that's probably his biggest one. He was in the...
No, I am Spartacus.
I'm Spartacus. He was in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and The Final Countdown. And
Yeah.
he's in a...
The Final Countdown?
That's what
That's
he's went
such a
with.
bad movie.
Yeah, but I remember that one. But then you have Michael Douglas, who I think has been in maybe...
Ant-Man.
Oh, obviously
stop
that.
it.
I think in maybe more serious movies.
Yes, Wall
I mean,
Street.
Kirk Douglas did some of the disastery stuff, but yeah, Wall Street, Fatal Attraction. But then you have Romancing the Stone.
I love
which
that movie.
I think are fun.
Yeah, Jewel of the Nile romantic story.
But it's crazy. Like, he is a better actor. Like, I would also say he's more talented. I think Falling Down is one of his best roles.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Is
but
the
it's
flat
weird.
top?
Yeah, he's been around. Michael Douglas, I mean, Kirk Douglas as well, but Michael Douglas has been famous most of our lives, Joel.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
So I think he was obviously given advantage. His dad was a big movie star. And I think, again,
How
now
else
that we
was he
look-
able to marry Catherine Zeta-Jones?
Now that we look back, I do think that his career surpassed his dad's. I mean, it's close, but I think I would take
The
it.
Game.
The
so
Game.
good.
Yeah, that's a good
one. That's a
Right.
twisty one.
Joel, what do you have?
Kent, you stole my pick. I'm going to steal one of yours.
Okay,
I
dude.
chose Robert Downey Jr.
Okay, perfect.
Because everyone, I think, sees Robert Downey Jr. and goes, well, who's Robert Downey Sr.? Mm-hmm. And it's because, exactly what you said, the fame is bigger with Robert Downey Jr. And they had a very troubled
Did they?
childhood, parenthood.
I know there's a documentary on Netflix about
Yeah,
his
it's
dad.
a little messed up. Like
Okay.
his dad basically introduced him to drugs at a young
Great.
age.
Okay.
Good job. But no, Robert Downey Jr. is like his films have grossed over $14 billion worldwide. He was named as one of the most 100 influential people in the world and one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood. He's Robert Downey Jr. Like the senior is like a question mark at this point. So That's who I chose.
Okay, great pick.
I just remember that Michael Douglas is in Ghosts of Girlfriends Past. Now I'm wondering if I...
Oh, yeah.
I did take
but
that
also
one back.
Ghosts in the Darkness.
Okay. The In-Laws. Did you see that
Oh,
one?
yeah.
Oh, The American President. Okay, we're good.
Okay.
Come on, that's a good one.
Sure.
Michael J. Fox is in that.
That's the movie that made my dad hate movies.
Now, finally, let's look to the future with America's next top Nepo baby. Props
Is
to
this a
Zack.
show on Kate?
Props to Zach for coming up with that name.
Is this on UPN or something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
All right, Zach, I think it's you. You're going to start.
All right. I considered Zoe Kravitz for this, but I think she's just already kind of where she is. I don't think we're looking too
As far as she's going, yep.
Yeah, I don't think she's got much further to go as far as that goes. Did you guys see Licorice Pizza?
Yeah.
It's an all right movie. Kind of weird, but Cooper Hoffman,
Yeah.
son of Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh.
He is the lead kid.
Son of Philip Seymour Hoffman and Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, nothing.
Both of them together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cloning, it's a thing.
So he is, he played a young boy in that movie, and you could just kind of see the charm. I think when you're watching this kid, Cooper Hoffman, and his dad was just outstanding actor,
really
but
was.
also extremely versatile, and found a way to be charming and then kind of terrifying
Yes.
in many roles. So looking ahead, this kid is working on movies. There's stuff that's coming out. We'll see where it's headed. But when I saw Licorice Pizza, I'm like, I don't know who this kid is, but he's great. And then I looked up and went, oh, he's Philip Seymour Hoffman's son.
sense. Yeah.
And so I think he has got a bright
Yes, potential.
future
Totally.
ahead of him.
Okay.
And again, not a body of work, but bright future.
Okay.
So I'm calling it. It's going to be a star.
It's a prediction episode again.
Oh, there we go.
I'm going to say a name here, gentlemen, and this name is going to light a light in your eyes. You're going to go, oh, yeah. And you want to know why? Because her name is Surrey Cruz.
Oh.
You remember Surrey Cruz?
Yeah, she's like 3 right now, right?
No, she's hold on.
Isn't it weird that names like Apple Martin and Surrey Cruz were so part of vernacular back in the tabloid days?
Yeah.
That we still think of them as babies.
Yeah. She was born in 2006, Kent. So you do
Wow.
the math.
18. Yeah. And I don't say yeah because she's 18.
That got awkward real quick.
He was excited that he got it right.
Surrey Cruz is the daughter of Katie Holmes and Tom Cruise. And while Tom Cruise doesn't have a large part in her life anymore, from what I understand,
Yeah.
I don't know for sure, she has kind of stayed out of the spotlight. She was in the spotlight as a baby, gone out of the spotlight. And I looked her up on IMDb, and she has 3 credits to her name. The first one is in 2013 when she played Jack's daughter, uncredited in Oblivion, a Tom Cruise movie.
Oh, okay.
But then in 2022, she was in a performer in a movie called Alone Together. And then in 2023, she was in a musician. She did vocal work in Rare Objects. Wow. Whether she goes music or whether she goes film, I'm not sure. But I just feel like as the daughter of Katie Holmes and the daughter of Tom Cruise, Surrey Cruz is going to have a successful career.
She has Katie Holmes' face with Tom Cruise's eyes.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the meme where the daughter of Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love, Frances Bean Cobain, is now married to Tony Hawk's son?
Yeah.
And they're going to have the coolest kid ever.
The coolest white person ever.
Yeah. Seriously.
But is that your pick, Kent?
It is not. My pick is literally a toddler.
A toddler. We're looking way ahead.
She was born in 2019. It is Betty Reynolds. Betty Reynolds is the daughter of Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively.
Oh.
Yep.
This is 3
That
of
is
4.
going to be a beautiful child.
So they have 4 kids altogether. By the way, their first kid is probably the only cute one from what I've seen.
Whoa.
Listen.
You can't bash on people's babies.
It took Ryan Reynolds a while to get where he's at. Blake Lively, on the other hand. But one of their 4 kids has to go somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking it's Betty. I think Betty, being kind of the middle child, will kind of grow up to be a little bit like Ryan, where she needs attention.
She's going to be a Canadian celebrity.
Yeah, well, they become real celebrities too.
I think that this is a great pick because of Ryan Reynolds. He is kind of become the ultimate hype man.
Right.
He's got a bunch of people in America caring about some crappy soccer team.
Yeah.
Right? He's got people thinking like, do I need to switch to Mint Mobile?
Yeah. Do I need to drink gin?
Do I actually do I need to have aviation gin?
Right.
Am I actually going to go see Deadpool 3? I think he is
The
such
answer should be no to all of those, by the way.
He is such a hype man.
Yeah.
That I could see him pushing forward, his kids in the industry.
So, and here's why I say it's going to be even more of a Nepo situation. So basically her godmother, it's unofficially, but is one of Blake Lively's best friends, Taylor Swift, actually was the one to announce the name of Betty in the song called Betty. And the lyrics
Oh,
are
Black Betty, Panda Lamp.
Panda Lamp. But apparently the lyrics are, and it references the names of their other kids as well. You heard the rumors from Inez, which is another child. You can't believe a word she says. She said James, which is another child. Get in, that's drive. And the song is called Betty. And so Taylor Swift is singing songs not only about ex-boyfriends,
Announcing baby names?
but announcing baby names of the Reynolds family.
That's weird.
It's a little weird. But I think we're going to see her in like a few commercials, maybe like a few ads with Ryan Reynolds. But by the time she's 12, she'll be something in Hollywood.
I think it's interesting that none of these are. There's not many that were proper child stars. Maybe Drew Barrymore is probably the biggest child star. It's interesting. You'd think that they would be, but maybe they just surpassed that.
I think maybe a lot of these people probably didn't want to be. Like they saw how long their parents were gone from home.
No, I do think a lot of parents caution their kids against it as well.
But then by the time they're like 18 and they're like, I have to get a real job?
Yeah.
I'm just going to be in movies.
I don't think any of these were like, they weren't on Disney shows. They weren't on Nickelodeon.
Well, we could have gone the Miley Cyrus way.
I can't believe she didn't get brought up once.
Yeah.
I just don't want to talk about her.
Yeah, neither.
Hey, Miley Cyrus is the daughter of Billy Ray and Dolly Parton's goddaughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the same time,
That's all I got.
I think she may be more talented than her dad, just saying.
That's not a high bar to clear.
So there you go. There is our list of Nepo babies, for better, for worse. Let us know if you were surprised by any of these relationships between the celebrities and their kids.
I am still shocked about Irish gingers. Irish gingers. Brendan and Donald. What?
And let us know if we missed any of your favorite Nepo babies. Let us know on Facebook. Let us know on Instagram. Let us know on Twitter. We want to hear from you. But before we go, we'd like to give some loves to our patrons, including the I Am the Listener tier, which has in it Taylor Sanderson, Sir and Madam Hicks, Shannon West, Scott Jackson Sprague, Ryan and Marley, Rocky and Steph, Lady Terry Finley, Juice the Cooler King Swallow, Jennifer Kilkowski, Dave Kelly, Casey Cummings, Briggs is off to preach the good word, Angela Plotz, Andrew is literally Ryan Gosling, Alicia Bass, and Adam and Rachel Crump. And then we have our Bacon Council, which includes the other Brit, Johnny English, the one, the only Chris Anderson, Stephen, everyone's favorite Ross, Star Wars expert Kyler, our favorite couple, the Madsons, Nicole D. Kale, Her Royal Highness Jessica Terry, Glow Clin Daniel, Debbie Foster, and Beaker.
Thank you, patrons.
Thank you, patrons. You are the sheen to our Estevez.
Yeah, which is better. Not sure. Okay.
Either way.
Emilio!
Why are we referencing so many bad movies on this episode?
So many.
But if you want to find me, you can find me at 76Joel on Twitter. You can find me performing with Quickwits, who perform at the Midvale Performing Arts Center. For more details, go to qwcomedy.com or go to the Quickwits Facebook page.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Kenny3DD. You can read my movie reviews at ShowtimeShowdown.com.
If you'd like to connect with me, you can do so on Twitter and Instagram at Tumbling Mustard. But more importantly, make sure you're following Baconsale. Please like the Facebook page and then go to at Baconsale on Twitter and Instagram. After you've done that, go to tpublic.com/Baconsale and get yourself some merch. We love to see it. And then if you like the show and you like what's going on here, you can support us further at patreon.com/Baconsale. Support starts just around $3 a month. You can get yourself all sorts of perks and benefits, but mostly our behind-the-scenes bacon bits where, I mean, you know, it's never planned and we don't know how it's going to go, and it's always fun. Patreon.com/Baconsale.
So until next time, Nepo baby one more time.
I feel like that was not a happy thanks. It's funny how Baconsale can bring out strong feelings about seemingly innocuous subjects.
So we're going to be a little salty on this show?
Oh yeah.
It's positive saltiness. Which is sad, but I also still hate them.
That's the epitome.
Can we even keep that?
No.
They are babies. Babies are cute.
Hey, Mambo.
Mambo Italiano. Ken's
Dad.
bringing the salt.
No way. Oh,
Right.
thank goodness. Just a stepmom.
Pull back the salt, Ken.
No, sorry.
Withhold the salt a little bit. Your sodium levels are way too high.
Hold on. Just drop
Are you
the salt right
salt-baying
here.
over there?
Salt baying.
I didn't know.
What?
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Wait, so that they're Gingers and have Gleason as their last name?
Yeah, they must all be Irish.
He is this Nepo baby, but he's from Ireland, so does it count?
Name
Colin
one
is-
movie Colin Hanks is in.
And don't say
that
Orange
isn't
County.
Orange County. Yeah.
For the record, House Bunny.
Parks and Rec, I guess.
salty man.
Why are you so interesting? But you are. No, does she get Alicia Silverstone as well? Is she still around?
She's still
still hanging
alive,
out?
yes.
She's still alive.
She is still alive.
Oh, okay. Maybe never mind. Batgirl? No. What about Calabar's Revenge? Is she in Calabar's Revenge?
You're on a Halloween Town
You
high.
corrected me. So
Wow.
I'm always on a Halloween
Okay,
Town high.
take it easy. It's a different last name.
I was once a teenage boy.
You want to wear my blood in your vial?
Mom, why is my mouth so wide?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know I had to.
You didn't.
Thank you, Jeff Bridges, for bringing me that moment with Joel. Joel, why are we falling apart?
If I wasn't a model, I'd be a really scary looking actor.
Mandalorian episode, bruh.
18.
Yeah.